Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, this is a re-upload of a video that I had posted yesterday, entitled. I done forgot the title, but I'm gonna put the title back in the video. It's gonna be the title of this video, and I got a copyright under the video that I had posted because I don't know. You know how Esau is. You say fair use, you act like you whispered it or something, and they still give you a copyright. So I'm just putting this post to the copyright, and I'm gonna tag the put this post actually in the video prior to me. Well, if I can add it in, I'm gonna add it in prior to me showing the video, but just showing the copyright disclaimer prior to me even starting the video. So you're gonna hear it actually open up again, and then go into the regular video. So it's just a re-upload. The Lord will is edifying. You know, we got to do all these things just because of Esau and how he got everything set up, but it's all good. We won't be doing this for much longer. So Lord will, the video is edifying. Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, I'll just make this a quick video off this YouTube short that I had seen earlier today, where it was going into a guy asking a group of women, you know, the typical setup, about the things that they need in order to be considered the prize. And he flips the questions on it. Well, he flips the host. He basically sets them up for it, and they don't even realize it. And some of them even disagree. And you hear the delusion within their mindset, but this is the modern westernized woman. Now, everything that's going on, let's just use what's going on in LA right now. And especially with the Northern Kingdom, you know, things that's going on with the Northern Kingdom. You think that, you know, because we know we have brothers out there, brothers and sisters that believe in this word, believe in the truth. And depending on how the Lord allows this thing to go, it can escalate and go even further and get even worse. Or, you know, he can die down depending on how the Lord Yahweh wanted to do. But despite that, with everything going on, I guarantee you money, well, the things he's going to name in the video, which, you know, he goes into money, he goes into career, being fit and having status. That's one of the least of the problems of the Northern Kingdom right now, you know. And ultimately, a man of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah who's moving with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and has the Lord with him, that's the prize, as the scriptures say. Which, you know, I will go into for Isaiah 4:1, because just imagine if everything that's happening in LA starts happening in different parts of the country on a much more grander mass scale, you know. And you think about it, and especially if they don't just target the so-called Mexicans, you know, Issachar or the Northern Kingdom. Just imagine if they go through, because Trump already he already talked about policing the neighborhoods where Jake is, where they, you know, where all the crime and stuff happens. I don't know. I can't remember exactly under which. I don't know if it's under a bill yet or not. But this is what they want to do. Have extreme policing in Jake neighborhoods. So just imagine if all this starts to actually take place and it escalates, which we know Jacob's trouble is coming and all this is going to be a part of it. But just imagine if it escalates to a whole nother scale. What then? And all those women who had this delusion about the type of man that they think they deserve, or the type of man they think that's supposed to be for them and they supposed to get, and different things like that. All that goes out the window. All of that goes out the window. Especially when they realize that these troops, they not, or these soldiers, they under orders. They're not playing, you know, and especially when it starts to get to the ones who don't care, you know, who don't care about you having a family, you having this and that and the third. They following straight orders, you know, and they showcase this in movies. They put it in, you know, games, TV shows of soldiers following their orders, and the whole idea of empathy, or being sympathetic to somebody, or, you know, showing mercy, all that goes out the window, especially if the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is on them, or it's over with. So just imagine when these things take place. So I'm gonna play this YouTube short of everything that he's saying, and then I'm gonna get the scriptures, because even though he goes into the whole things of this society, the true meaning of a prize is going into a man that has this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He don't have to have none of the things that this guy names. That's of the world. That's how the world views it. And we don't view things from the perspective of the world. We view things from the perspective of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. But I'm getting this video just to show the delusion of these women and how everything is going to change. And that's why Isaiah 4:1 he even go say what it says. You know, women saying they'll take care of themselves. They'll do all that stuff. So you won't need to. You won't need the money, the clout, the status, you know, the fame, or to be the most fit person, you know, the most in shape brother, this, that, and the third. All that goes out the window when their stability and their security is threatened. So without further ado, I'm gonna play this video. And fair use. I'm not using this video to make any money. This is strictly for educational purposes. I'm not making any money off of this video. Strictly educational purposes. Lord will, you're edified. All right, and as you notice, you don't see I'm not gonna say it's not a Southern Kingdom woman in there, but you don't see the so-called black woman in there. Not on this video, not on this clip. As you know, they often have many different women on there, and these women, they don't be no upstanding women or nothing. These are modern feminist whores. That's what these women are. You know, that's what a lot of these people who had these talk shows, that's who they bring on. You know, Instagram models and different stuff like that, but behind the scenes, that's their lifestyle, you know? So, but like I said, you don't notice, you don't see the so-called black woman in the video, at least not off this clip. You don't see her or see them, but they all fit in this category. And some of these are like Northern Kingdom women. So imagine the mindset of the women that's going, you know, that's experiencing the intensity of what's going on over in LA right now. You think they'd be caring about a man that has status? Let me get this. Isaiah 13:12 in the KJV. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. And what man is that? A man of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that has wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to be with him. What makes him so special? What makes him so different from everybody else? Is Isaiah 32:2. And that man, which is the same man, shall be as a hiding place from the wind and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, and the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So that same man that's made more precious than fine gold, it said he shall be a hiding place from the wind, which is from the judgments, the tempest, the rivers of water in a dry place, and the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. That's the judgments of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, meaning this man is of the elect, and the Lord is with him, and he's going to protect him, and he's going to protect those that are with him. You know, that would be considered his household. Anybody under this man's authority or rule or guidance will have access to that stability and protection. Now I'm gonna get another scripture. As it say, wisdom is a defense. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 12, and I'm gonna read this one in the AMP. It says, "For wisdom is a protection, even as money is a protection. But the excellent advantage of knowledge is that wisdom shields and preserves the lives of its possessors." Right. So this is tying back in. This is tying everything in to Isaiah 13 and 12, Isaiah 32 and 2, where that man should be a covert, a hiding place. This is why. It says the excellent advantage of knowledge is that wisdom shields and preserves the lives of his possessors. So the things that the man named on the video, that's of the world. That's Yahweh Shem Yahushua cares nothing about that. He cares about his elect. And his elect is going to be focused on him, focused on the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and doing the things that's required for salvation. And a part of that is learning this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Now, like I said, wisdom and money is a protection. But let's go to what's going to be the outcome of money. Let's see. I think it's actually in the apocrypha that I want. Let's see. I'm trying to get the scripture where it said that gold and silver shall not deliver them. And I forgot exactly where it said. 8 verses. Let's see. Okay, here it is. It's Zephaniah 1 and 18. This is Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 18. Well, let's see. Start at verse 14. This is Zephaniah 1 and 14. It says, "The great judgment day of the Lord is near and coming very quickly. Listen, the voice of the day of the Lord. The warrior cries out bitterly, unable to fight or to flee." Right. And that's all the people of this world. From your top, your not only just your warriors, but even the people whose defense, your politics, people with money, people who felt secure or safe. It's everybody. It says that day is a day of the outpouring of the wrath of the Most High, a day of trouble and distress, a day of destruction and devastation, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and thick darkness, which is a direct precept to the Isaiah 32 and 2, because all these things are the things that the man of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua are going to be protected from, and be able to protect those that's under him, that's of his household during that time. They're going to be shielded and protected from this too. It says a day of trumpet and the battle cry of invaders against the fortified cities and against the high corner towers, battlements. And it's all going into the Third World War too. "I will bring distress on men, so that they will walk like the blind, unable to find a way of escape, because they have sinned against the Lord. Their blood will be poured out like dust and trampled underfoot, and their flesh like dung." And this is going into both of the other nations, primarily because of the Third World War, but also too, even 2/3 of our own people. Judgment's coming on them for being disobedient to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua and refusing to turn back to the Heavenly Father. And best believe when all these things are taking place, and all these events are taking place, it already told you how the mighty man was going, how the mighty man was going to be. So just imagine how women are going to be. who think that they are the prize, who think that they are something. Because the thing that America has taught women, or Westernization in general, has taught women to think is that they're above everybody. They feel like they're above everybody and nobody competes with them. They feel like they on a certain level of status. And if you're not on that level of status, you're a nobody. But the Lord is finna wake every single last one of them up. Because even though with what DJT is doing with the big beautiful bill, that's still not enough. The Lord is gonna take it, he's gonna crank it up to the next level. Because no matter if it's a woman in the highest position, the government, she worked for the government or whatever, even down to you women that's at the very low, they all gonna be put on the same. They're all still women, and a woman was created to be a servant for a man. That's their whole purpose, to be a helpmeet for the man, and that mentality is gonna return to the earth. But that doesn't mean that every single woman is gonna have it. Is gonna be delivered. Every single woman all these women are going to return back into that mindset, especially when these events that the scriptures are talking about, when this start happening and they start to see it, they start to experience it, and they have no security. Oh, it's over with. Verse 18, here go the point. Neither their silver nor their gold will be able to rescue them on the day of the Lord's indignation and wrath, and the whole earth will be consumed in the fire of his jealous wrath. And it says God's judgment and God's mercy are the twin themes of the prophets in this dramatic passage. The Lord describes the destruction that will sweep the earth in the day of his wrath, yet the Lord is true to his promise. The remnant will be restored. The last day is also the day of redemption, the day of salvation. So it's not the last day on earth. It's just the last day that America, Babylon the Great, will be known as a country. It'll be the last day that Esau Edom was in power, or was reveling in the earth. So I'm gonna finish it. It says, "For he shall make a full and complete end, indeed a terrifying one, of all the inhabitants of the earth," and not literally the inhabitants of the earth. The earth is gonna continually and forever be inhabited, but America is gonna be the only place that's not inhabited by man anymore. So, like I said, the gold nor the silver will not be able to. It says speedy radiance too in the KJV, but it said that gold and the silver going into your money. And I wonder, does it say that in any other translation, or does it just say gold and silver? I think it just say gold and silver, but gold and silver is your money. Basically saying your money will not be able to save you in that time. So going back to that Ecclesiastes 7:12. It said wisdom is a defense and money is a defense. But money won't be able to save you during this time of the Lord's judgment. But this is the flip side. This is what wisdom has to offer. This is Isaiah 33:6. "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh Bashim Abishai is his treasure." And in the AMP it says, "And he will be the security and stability of your times, a treasure of salvation, wisdom, and knowledge. The fear of the Lord is your treasure." And I'm going to get in a couple other translations. In the NLT, matter of fact, CSB, it says, "There will be times of security for you, a storehouse of salvation, wisdom, and knowledge. The fear of the Lord is the fear of the Lord is Zion's treasure." The NLT, it says, "In that day he will be your sure foundation, providing a rich store of salvation, wisdom, and knowledge. The fear of the Lord will be your treasure." The NIV, it says the same thing. NET, "He is your constant source of stability. He abundantly provides safety and great wisdom. He gives all this to those who fear him." Right. Let me get one more if it's a good one. Okay. So yeah, like I said, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. It's going to show you that money, status, clout, fitness, all that goes out the window when the time of the Lord's judgment comes. But wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of thy time. So even with the video, with the guy saying, that's of the world. And the wisdom of this world is foolishness to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. But this wisdom is what's going to preserve you in their time. So these women, they caught up in the standards of the world. They're literally caught up in how this world is operating, how this world is functioning. The Lord is steadily breaking this world down. So when this modern society is broken down completely, these women, they're going to they're going to tap back into that mindset of a servant. It don't matter how big this woman was. She could have been a celebrity, this, that, and the third, or she could have been just your average local woman that you see every day. But had that mind, all of them got that mindset. The Lord is going to do a great humbling in the earth. This is Isaiah 4:1. I'm going to read it in both translations. KJV, it says, in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Now notice here, the Lord doesn't classify what type of woman. He said women. He said 7 women. He said women. Women are going to tap back into their mindset. And it's only a small percentage of women that will be saved anyway. It ain't going to be a lot of women that be saved, because these women have been in this great delusion for so long. And I was thinking about it earlier. You had a lot of women, even if the man that they was dealing with wasn't a man of the Lord, or even if he not of the elect, that he still could have been a decent man for her to deal with. These women have done and they've been with multiple men. And just think about all the men that they have done wrong. All the men that could have been, a potential good match for them or whatever, that they could have been wives to, that they've done wrong, that they've left, that they've committed all manner of wickedness against. You won't just get no opportunity to deal with that man again, or deal with a man like that. It don't work that way. You don't just leave a good man, or be wicked to a good man, or be wicked to any man, and then expect to get a good man from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. It don't work that way. Now, the Lord will have mercy on certain women, because there's a lot of women that didn't know, and they came into the truth, and their lives were changed. Not only their lives were changed, they changed because they woke up to the truth, and those women are destined to be saved. So that doesn't apply to every single woman. But again, that's the woman that Romans chapter 12, their mindset changed, because they wasn't conformed. They were no longer conformed to this world. And then they truly understood the value of a man, especially a man of the Lord. That's the true prize. So this Isaiah 4:1 in the AMP, it says, and in that day, 7 women will take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own food and wear and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our shame of being unmarried. And it definitely will be a shame for a woman to be, and not only just a shame, but extremely dangerous for a woman to be in Jacob's trouble, or going through all this judgment and not having a man as a protection, what men were designed to be. But again, you have a lot of women, they don't qualify for that anymore, or they don't qualify for that because of their behavior, because of their mindset, just like the delusional women in that video. And like I said, you didn't see no so-called black woman in that video. Not to say it wasn't no Southern Kingdom woman in there, but it wasn't no so-called black woman in that video. And it looked like it was majority, if not all, Northern Kingdom women. And they're experiencing their turmoil right now just in LA. And really, it ain't even start there. Just in general with these mass deportations that DJT been doing anyways. But how much more of that? And best believe they don't care about, they Israelites. They don't care. Esau don't care about our people. They be separating families and all types of stuff. So just imagine with all this going on, and then you don't have a man of the Lord. You know, you don't have a man of Yahweh Bashim Abashah that could have guided, protected, or at least led, you know, through all those situations. So, you know, this, Lord will, this been an edifying list. I just want to kind of keep it short, but just kind of touch on the points. A man of the Lord, because of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that Yahweh Bashim Abashah has blessed him with, and Yahweh Bashim Abashah is with him, those are the reasons why that makes him truly the prize. Money, status, a career, fitness, that's things of this world. Women will pass up the best man that they can ever be with, and not only just that, they passing up future kings, future rulers of the earth, all because they don't fit in a category that this world has taught them to. Esau Edom, under westernization, has taught these women to value superficial things that don't matter versus actually valuing what truly matters. Just think about it. For example, and I'm going to close it out with King David. King David was a shepherd. You know, he was a shepherd. You think in today's time, well, let's try to compare that to today's time. You know, he was a keeper of the animals or something. You know, keeper of the animals. So just say, I'm trying to get a good comparison. Just say today, in today's time, a shepherd, let's just say that's just somebody that works at a retail store. You know, in today's time, it's just, you know, somebody, he works at a retail store, he do his job, this, that, and the third, but he's not on no level of status. You know, he doesn't make the most money in the world. You know, he don't, this, that, and the third. He just, you know, retail store associate. But the Lord took King David from a shepherd and he made him king. You know, throughout a whole process, he built him up to be a king. And now just imagine that same retail sales associate in today's time, just putting it in the modern world, he go from being a retail sales associate to being a plant manager at some well-known company, you know, or factory or something like that, you know, or plant. He becomes a plant manager at a plant. And he went through the journey of learning and all the things that he needed to go through in order to be built up. But women would have overlooked him because he didn't have the status, you know, he didn't have the money to financially fund her lifestyle, because that's what they want. You know, I'm trying to think, the career that would seem attractive for a man, you know, so on and so forth. But now in this world, he has been taken up. So how much more for brothers that's coming from all manner of life, all walks of life, and have all different types of occupations, being taken from this low-level kingdom that we living in, that we under, until Yahweh Shem Abishai take us away, to literally being the rulers of the earth, you know, being the kings of the earth. So Lord will, and as that transition didn't happen because of status, career, money, or being in shape. It happened because Yahweh Shem Abishai chose them, and they have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The Lord was with them, and he saved them from all this judgment. The Lord will, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Until next time, shalom.